Awakening the Dawn, 90 Days of Rebirth. In the dim shadows of a room filled with unfinished sketches, Anne sat silently, her eyes heavy from lack of sleep. The clock struck 3 a.m. For Anne, this was the familiar rhythm of a freelance night owl who believed that inspiration only came when the rest of the world was asleep. But the reality was much harsher. The later she stayed up, the darker, more tired and lifeless her drawings became, mirroring her own soul. Rejections from clients and projects, canceled due to delays, piled up like a mountain on her shoulders, and felt herself falling into an abyss of failure, where her talent was being suffocated by chaos and lack of direction. Looking in the mirror, she saw a young girl with a weary face and dark circles under her eyes, having lost the spark of her original dreams. Everything truly changed on a fateful morning when Anne happened to wander into the park after an exhausting, sleepless night. Amidst the hazy mist at 5 a.m., she caught sight of an elderly woman calmly practicing Tai Chi under an ancient tree. Her face was radiant and full of life despite her silver hair. Seeing Anne's haggard appearance, the woman smiled gently and said something that woke her up. "My dear, the sun never waits for anyone. If you keep chasing the brilliant but artificial electric lights of the night, you will forget how to receive the purest energy of the earth and sky when the dawn wakes up." Those words struck Anne's mind like a bolt of lightning. She realized that for a long time she hadn't been living for art, but was running away from the world in the darkness. The decision to change began with a harsh 5 a.m. alarm. The first few days felt like a life-and-death struggle. While the world was still deep in sleep, the alarm rang like an enemy shattering the peace. There were times Anne reached out to hit the snooze button, intending to sleep just a little longer, but the image of the radiant elderly woman and the fear of a failed future pulled her up. She splashed cold water on her face, took a deep breath of the fresh morning air, and began applying iron discipline. 20 minutes of exercise to warm up her body, 20 minutes of meditation to listen to her heart, and the most important 20 minutes to learn new things she had always excused as being too busy for. Miraculously, as the clock ticked past the 21st day, then the 60th, a new version of Anne was reborn. Under the gentle light of dawn, her hands no longer trembled with fatigue but became graceful and full of energy. The paintings she drew at 5 a.m. carried a completely different breath, fresh, brilliant, and filled with hope. The silence of the early morning gave her absolute focus, something the distracting late nights could never offer, and realized that the greatest victory is not over others, but over one's own laziness at the very moment the alarm clock rings. That perseverance blossomed when Anne submitted a work painted during those magic hours to an international competition. No longer blocked sketches, her painting told the story of a journey from darkness into light, a story in color about discipline and self-respect. When she received a job offer from a prestigious studio, they didn't just praise her technique, they admired the way she managed her life. Anne stood by the window, watching the sun slowly rise above the horizon, feeling the warmth spread across her skin. She understood that 5 a.m. is not just a time, but a commitment to the future. Every morning, waking up early is a choice to master her destiny, to become the most brilliant version of herself. Anne's story is proof that if you dare to awaken the dawn will light your path to success.